I am not guilty. That's the first thing she says. Her voice is trembling, eyes darting around the living room like she's trapped under a spotlight. She stands behind the couch, hands shaking so much she hides them behind her back. I see the edge of her wedding band glinting there, a reminder of something that was supposed to be unbreakable. Her lips twitch. She's scared. Good. She should be. Liz, I say, short and calm, though my chest is hammering. I know everything. I feel this piercing shock every time I say her name. I hear my own pulse in my ears. There's a suffocating pressure behind my eyes. But I hold it back. I'm not going to give her tears, not now. She told me she was going out to a new restaurant with colleagues, but she slipped. Mentioned that place on the corner of Fifth. We've never been there together. But she knew the wine list by heart. They have the best Pinot Noir, she said once, too casually. I heard the way her voice went breathy. I heard the tiny rush of excitement she tried to conceal. That was the moment. The flash of truth. I connected the dots. Late nights, unanswered texts, the sudden perfume she never wore for me. So I set a trap. And now, here we are. She tries to speak, but I hold up my hand. Don't. A swirl of emotions rips through me, hot and uncontrollable. Rage, humiliation, a twisted longing for the life we had. But I clamp it all down. I'm done being sentimental. We stand there in the hush of our living room. The walls we painted together, the couches we picked out at that discount store in Dallas. Everything around us used to mean something. Now it's just background for the final scene of a bad movie. I see her swallow, her throat bobbing. She wants to talk. She wants me to let her explain. But there's nothing to explain. I've been watching. I've been listening. My mind replays the images I didn't want to see. She and him in the dark corner of that fancy restaurant. Fingers intertwined over candlelight, soft music, her leaning in, letting him taste the wine on her lips. Her hair falls forward, and he tucks it behind her ear in that slow, intimate gesture. My heart tears open again. The memory is more real than my own breath. I stare at her. For a moment, I almost see her as she was when we first met. A marketing student with big dreams, big smiles, unstoppable energy. Now that same face is a mask of guilt. She says, "Michael, please, you have to believe." "Stop," I cut in. My voice cracks on that one word. "Don't say my name like that." She takes a step back, glances at the door. But there's no running. Not this time. Our living room lights flicker slightly. Maybe the old bulb is dying. The shadows on her face shift, making her look older, more desperate. I watch her, forcing myself not to pity her. Pity is poison for me now. I move toward her, slow and measured. She shrinks a bit, hugging her elbows. "I know about Brian." She flinches at the name. There it is, the truth, laid out in 2 short words. Brian. The man who's been sharing my wife's bed, my wife's laughter, my wife's secrets. The man who turned my world inside out. He's younger, sharper, maybe more exciting. I'd spent weeks measuring myself against him in my head. Is he stronger? Is he more spontaneous? Does he make her feel what I used to? That comparison is a black hole inside me, ripping away my self-esteem inch by inch. Her lips move, but no sound comes out. I fill the silence for her. You two have been meeting at that restaurant, sharing romantic dinners, going back to his place. You think I didn't notice. You think I wouldn't catch on. She stares at me. It's not. It just happened. That's the line, isn't it? I say. My voice is lower now. It just happened. Like you tripped and fell on him. I can practically taste her fear. It's bitter and cold, but part of me wants more. There's a savage thrill in seeing her cornered. You see, for so long, I thought I was the problem. I thought I wasn't good enough. I tried to fix everything. Date nights, gifts, attention. Yet she drifted away. Now it all makes sense. I wasn't the one she wanted to be with. I was just the comfortable background, the steady paycheck, the faithful standby. Her eyes flicked to the hallway door. It's half open. Darkness in the corridor behind it. I imagine it as some cinematic transition. Door, darkness, another space. This entire house feels like a stage, and we're the doomed actors stuck delivering lines we never wanted to say. She tries again, Michael. But I raise my hand, pointing a finger at her like she's a suspect in an interrogation room. Where did you meet him? She purses her lips. I met him at a friend's birthday party. We started talking about his restaurant. I didn't plan. Liz, I bark. I said no lies. Her eyes fill with tears. I'm not lying. I exhale. My entire body is trembling with the need to unleash, but I keep it tight. I let her see my fury just enough for her to realize I could snap at any moment. Then I turn on my heel and walk to the kitchen door. We're not doing this here, I say, voice rough. Come with me. She hesitates. I glance over my shoulder. Now. She follows. Her footsteps are small, reluctant taps on the hardwood floor. I open the door to the hallway. Darkness greets us. But I flip on the light, and we keep going, like crossing into a different scene. The hallway leads to my home office. I step inside, flick the overhead lamp. Harsh light floods the room, illuminating the stacks of papers, the big wooden desk, and the 2 chairs arranged in front of it. It looks like a miniature courtroom. Perfect. Sit, I tell her, gesturing to the chair on the right. She lowers herself, eyes flicking around. Why here? She asks softly. I stride around the desk, letting the tension build. Because I have questions. And you're going to answer them under the same rules I use with my clients. Full honesty. No sentiment. Her face twists. Michael, this is insane. I slam my hand on the table. The sound cracks through the room, and she jumps. Sit still. Talk to me. Tell me how long it's been going on. Short, staccato questions. Panicked. I can hear my voice echo with that manic edge. She presses her lips together. She looks away, then back at me. 6 months, she whispers finally. My throat locks up. 6 months, half a year. That's how long she's been living this double life. I press my hand against my chest. My heart's pounding so hard it hurts. Where? I demand. Our house. His apartment. She shakes her head. Mostly at his place. Sometimes at hotels. I stare at her for a moment, feeling my jaw tense. Hotels, I echo in a whisper. So you spent my money, our money, on rooms for your affair. She doesn't answer, doesn't need to. The truth is there, shining in her eyes. I'm sorry, she breathes, tears streaking her cheeks. I blink. My vision goes red for a moment, but I push it down, caging my rage, letting it simmer. No. You're not sorry, Liz. You're caught. She opens her mouth, but I cut her off with a slash of my hand. I'm not finished. She shuts her lips, watching me. I can tell she wants to beg, to justify. She wants me to say I'll forgive her, but we both know that's not happening. I grip the edge of the desk and lean forward. Tell me about him. Brian. You love him. She drops her gaze to the floor. I don't know. I snort, a harsh sound that feels like shards of glass ripping my throat. That's not an answer. Do you love him? She starts to cry again. Silent tears, lips trembling. I don't know, she repeats, weaker. It was just so exciting at first. He's different. Different. The word stabs me. We've been together 15 years, and I guess I've become predictable, routine, maybe even dull. She wanted someone exciting. Maybe younger, maybe with a wild spirit. That's how she sees him. I see him as a parasite. I inhale sharply. My chest aches from all this pent-up adrenaline. I want to throw something, break something, but I don't. Instead, I say, what did he give you that I couldn't? She shakes her head, sobbing quietly. He made me feel alive. like I was still that adventurous girl I used to be. I close my eyes for a second, and I'm assaulted by the image of them, tangled in a hotel bed, warm lights, half-drawn curtains, her body under his. My stomach heaves. The wave of nausea is almost unbearable, but I force it down. I open my eyes, glaring at her. You never told me you felt dead. Liz, you never said you wanted more. She looks up with desperation. I tried to. You were so busy with your work, your clients. We lost something. I laugh, a harsh, empty sound. So you found it in another man. She nods, tears brimming. She's not proud of it, I can see that. But that doesn't matter anymore. The hole in my chest widens. We lost something. Now I've lost everything. I step back, letting the quiet nestle between us. Then I speak again, softer but still cold. So you're sleeping with him for half a year, sneaking around. Do you realize how disgusting that is? She sniffles, tries to wipe her tears with the back of her hand. I'm sorry, she repeats, brokenly. That's what you say, but it doesn't fix anything. We stand there in silence until I hear the buzz of my phone on the desk. I glance at it. The screen shows a text from him. Because of course I have his number. She left it in her messages once. I read the preview. We need to talk. I think he knows. My anger flares again, scorching hot in my veins. Perfect, I mutter. He wants to talk. She pales. Michael, don't. My phone vibrates again. He's calling me. I say, voice distant. Then I press the green button. I let him speak first. Liz? His voice is hushed, tense. Are you okay? I'm worried. I got your text earlier. Are you with him? I smirk. She's probably texted him in a panic, something about how I've confronted her. Well, let's see how he handles the confrontation. She's here. I say. And so am I. There's a pause on the line. I imagine him blinking, swallowing. Michael. Yes. Why don't you come over? Let's have a chat. Man to man. He starts to stutter and answer. I don't wait. Tonight. 9 o'clock. Don't be late. Then I hang up. She stands up abruptly, face streaked with tears. No, Michael, please. Don't do this. I pocket the phone. My hands are shaking, but I force them still. Oh, I'm doing this. If you want your new life, fine. But I want closure. The word closure sounds so neat, so formal. But in my head, I'm planning something else entirely. Something that will make him understand the pain he's inflicted. Make her understand, too. Her eyes widen. She sees something dark in me, something she's never seen before. It's the flicker of pure fury that churns behind my calm face. He's not going to. He'll be scared. I grip the doorknob, ready to leave the office. I hope so. Door. Darkness. Another space. It's near 9, and the house is dimly lit. I left the front porch light on so he would see exactly where to go. Outside, crickets are chirping. I can see the headlights of his car pulling into the driveway. My heart is galloping, and I realize I've been looking forward to this. That's the scariest part. Some twisted excitement is fueling me. Elizabeth stands near the living room window. She's trembling like a leaf in the wind. I can tell she's been crying for hours. I don't speak to her. There's nothing left to say. This confrontation is all that matters now. A knock at the door. I walk to open it. He's there, wearing jeans and a plain shirt. He looks younger than I expected, no lines of worry or age on his face. He's tense, glancing around like he's about to walk into an ambush. Let him feel that pressure. He steps in, eyes flicking to me, then to Elizabeth. Liz, he says softly, reaching out a hand. She doesn't move to take it. She just stands there, arms folded, lips pressed tight. I shut the door. Silence falls over us like a heavy cloak. Finally, he clears his throat. Look, Michael, I'm sorry about all of this. I nod, slowly, feeling the muscles in my neck strain. I bet you are. He tries to speak again, but I point to the couch. Sit. My voice is curt. He blinks and does as he's told, sinking into the cushions. I walk around the coffee table and stand across from him, arms folded. Elizabeth stays near the window, a silent witness, her face pale as chalk. For a moment, no one talks. We just stare, sizing each other up. He's probably remembering the times he's been with my wife, the intimate nights, the stolen glances, and I'm imagining them too, except from the outside looking in, like watching a film where I'm the cuckolded fool. I break the silence. So, Brian, you love her? He looks up at me, frowning, then glances at Elizabeth. Yes. The word is a whisper, but it hits me like a punch. My stomach clenches. Then say it properly, I snap. Tell me how much you love her. You sure you even know what that means? He licks his lips, fiddles with his hands. I know how I feel about her. He tries to meet her eyes, but she's looking at the floor. I give a harsh laugh, shaking my head. You love her, but you sneak around, break a home, and hide in shadows like a rat. That's your definition of love. He flushes. We didn't mean for it to happen. Stop with that line. I hiss, stepping forward. You both chose this. You met her. You flirted. You seduced my wife in fancy hotel rooms. Don't stand there and pretend it was an accident. Elizabeth flinches at the venom in my tone, but she doesn't intervene. Brian swallows, stands up. Listen, I know I've messed up. I know I hurt you. But I can't just make it go away. I glare at him. Oh, you hurt me all right, and I'm going to return the favor. His eyes go wide. He glances at Elizabeth, and she stares at me in alarm. Michael, don't. I cut her off with a raised hand. I want to hear him confess everything. Every detail. Brian's face goes pale. That's between me and her. No, I say calmly, it's between me and her. You're just a side character. But you're here now. So talk. He looks at her, then at me, his jaw clenching. What do you want me to say? I spread my hands. I want you to humiliate yourself. Like you humiliated me. He stares at me, realizing this is no simple conversation. This is some twisted inquisition. He tries to stay quiet, so I lean in. Speak. He frowns, then mumbles. We met at a birthday party about 7 months ago. She had too much to drink. We talked. We flirted. It got out of hand. After that, we started meeting regularly at the restaurant. Then we got a hotel room. He looks at Elizabeth, guilt in his eyes. It just kept going. She told me she was unhappy, that you two were distant. I'd wanted to give her something else. My eyes burn. Something else. And how many times did you sleep with my wife? I ask, ignoring Elizabeth's panicked expression. He stammers. Countless times. I don't know. 10, 15, maybe more. His voice cracks. I'm sorry, man. My fists tighten at my sides until my knuckles go white. 10, 15, maybe more. That's how many times she moaned his name instead of mine. That's how many times she lied to me, covered up, hid behind excuses. My throat clenches. My heart is a war drum pounding in my chest. I close my eyes, taking a moment to steady myself. Then I open them. You're sorry. Great. But I'm not looking for an apology. I want you to feel what I felt. Right here, right now. This is your trial. I point to Elizabeth. You will face her. You'll see that look in her eyes. That guilt, that fear, and you'll know exactly how she destroyed the man she promised to love. He turns to her, and she can't lift her gaze from the floor. Her shoulders shake with silent sobs. My mind replays the memory of the times I tried to hold her, to talk to her, and she pushed me away. Then she'd run off to meet him. The taste of betrayal is acid in my mouth. Go ahead, I say quietly. Tell me what you see when you look at her, the woman you love. The wife you stole. He exhales shakily. I see someone in pain. Someone who wants to escape. Is that all you see? Because I see a coward who couldn't be honest and left me in the dark. The dryness in my tone is more terrifying than if I screamed. His shoulders sag. I wish it hadn't happened like this. Too late. Silence. It seems to stretch forever, thick with regret, anger, shame. My body is trembling from the effort to keep myself from lunging at him. I want to break him, but at the same time, I want him to understand. I want them both to feel how every piece of me is shattered. Then I move to the coffee table, where I set up my phone. I open the voice recorder. This is how we'll do it. I say, and the words come out slow, methodical, like instructions in a detective's interrogation. You'll both talk into this. Call it confessions. Then I'll keep it for myself. My record of how this marriage ended. Elizabeth's head snaps up. Michael, this is insane. I look at her. Don't you dare say my name like that. You lost that right. Then I hold out the phone, pressing record. Speak, I tell Brian. He glances at me in disbelief. Why? This is humiliating. Exactly, I snap. Confess, or get the hell out. But if you leave now, I'll make sure you can't hide from me in this town. He bites his lip. He's afraid of me, or maybe of what I'll do. Slowly, he clears his throat. My name is Brian. I slept with Elizabeth Johnson. I knew she was married. I did it anyway. We did it multiple times. My stomach turns at hearing those words, but I keep the phone pointed. Talk about the hotels. I insist. His face twists. We'd met at a couple of chain hotels, mostly on the weekends. She'd say she was going out with friends or traveling for work. We spent hours there, sometimes the whole night. Elizabeth is trembling violently now, covering her mouth with one hand. Tears slide down her cheeks. I hold the phone, unsmiling, unwavering. Good, I say. Now you, Liz, breathe in the microphone. That's what you said I told you, right? I want to hear you. And you'd better not lie. She shakes her head, voice strangled. Michael, please, don't make me do this. I walk closer, phone still pointed. Talk. She squeezes her eyes shut. Her voice is a broken whisper. I'm Elizabeth Johnson. I had an affair with Brian. We met in secret. We lied to you. It was wrong. I knew it was wrong, but it felt, I don't know, exciting. I feel raw hatred coil inside me, but I keep my face cold. Go on. Talk about the restaurant. She shudders. We'd meet there after hours. Brian has keys. We drank wine in his office. Sometimes we'd have sex in the corner booth after everyone left. My blood goes cold. That's a new detail. An image floods me. Her pressed against the booth, moaning quietly, him covering her mouth so the staff wouldn't hear. The humiliation clenches my gut so hard I almost can't stand it. I click off the recorder. My hand shakes. The room is deathly silent. She's sobbing. Brian is staring at the ground, red-faced and miserable. I feel a wave of bleak satisfaction. They have nowhere to hide now. They can't sweep this under the rug. I wanted them to experience the raw shame of their betrayal. And they did. Door. Darkness. Another space. I lead them out to the backyard. The sky is clear, stars overhead. The cool night air hits my face, and for a moment I feel almost calm. I flick on the patio light, revealing the old wooden deck, the place where I used to grill steaks, invite friends over, share laughter. Now it's the set for my final act. I point to two chairs across from each other, near the grill. They hesitantly sit. Brian looks confused, maybe hoping we're done with this madness. Elizabeth is crying softly, hugging herself as if it's freezing. I lean against the wooden railing, arms folded. You wanted this, I say quietly, glancing at her. This new life, this new man, So you're going to face the consequences. She wipes her tears. Michael, can't we just? No, I cut in. We can't. I'm not finished. Brian speaks up, voice quivering. Man, I know you're angry. But what do you want from me now? You have your confession. I told you everything. I let the corner of my mouth twist into a bitter smile. Not quite everything. I want you to feel the weight of what you've done. I want to see you break. He exhales, looking at the sky, his breath trembling. I am broken. I didn't want to ruin you. Ruin her. I snort. But you did. Then I step forward, crossing the deck to stand in front of both of them. Tell me, Brian, do you think you'll last? Do you think she won't get bored again and find someone else once the thrill is gone? He glances at Elizabeth. She bows her head, hair falling over her face. She's silent, either too ashamed or too devastated to respond. I don't care. This is my moment to lash out, to burn the remains of this so-called love. I say, I want you to taste the same fear I tasted every night I suspected her. That gnawing anxiety that she's lying, that she's with someone else. I step closer, fists clenched. I want you to live with that uncertainty every day. That's your punishment. He looks away, jaws tight. Fine, he mutters. I'll live with it. I shift my gaze to Elizabeth. And you? You said you wanted excitement, that you felt alive with him. You told me I was too busy, that we drifted apart. Well, guess what? Now you'll spend the rest of your life seeing my face every time you close your eyes. Because I'm your memory. I'm the shadow that'll follow you wherever you go. Even if you run from me, you can't hide from what you did. She breaks down again, sobbing into her hands. Part of me wants to comfort her, some old reflex from the time I loved her above all else. But I crush that instinct. I remind myself she gave up my comfort the moment she chose him. I let them sit there in their misery for a minute, maybe two, listening to the quiet drip of tears, the rustle of leaves in the yard. Then I step back, nodding to the back gate. Brian, get out. He glances at Elizabeth, uncertain. Then he stands, looks at me. What about her? I grit my teeth. That's not your concern. If she wants to leave with you, let her. But I'm done. Done with both of you. He hesitates, but Elizabeth doesn't move from her chair. She's too stunned by the raw force of everything that's happened tonight. So he trudges to the gate alone, stepping out into the night. The gate slams behind him. We're left in silence, just me and the woman who used to be my entire world. Her sobs slow to ragged breathing. She tries to lift her eyes to me. But I look away, focusing on the stars. Michael, she whispers finally. I can't fix this, can I? I shake my head. No. She wipes her nose on the back of her hand. She's never looked more lost, more broken. I still love you, she says. I bark a sharp, humorless laugh. That word doesn't mean much right now. She nods, tears trickling again. What do we do? I exhale slowly. My anger is scorching my insides, but there's also a numbness creeping in. We end this. That's what we do. She whimpers softly. Do you want a divorce? I stare at her. The notion of leaving everything behind, our home, our shared memories, feels like being asked to chop off my own hand. But the alternative is living a lie with a woman who betrayed me. Yes, I say, voice hollow. I want a divorce. A small pained cry escapes her lips. She grabs her face, shaking with sobs. I feel no sympathy, only a heavy exhaustion. The part of me that once adored her is gone, replaced by a cold finality. I turn away from her, leaning on the railing, trying to breathe. The night air is crisp against my sweaty skin. My mind flicks through images. The day we moved into this house. The nights we made love on this very deck under the stars. The times we laughed about silly things. It all stings now. A cruel slideshow of what I've lost. She stands up, and I hear her footsteps approach. She places a trembling hand on my shoulder. Michael, I'm so sorry. I don't expect you to forgive me. But please, just know that I didn't do it to hurt you. I shrug off her hand, turning to face her. I know. You did it for yourself. To feel something. And you ended up killing something else. I take a breath. I'm done with us. She stares at me, tears glistening, mouth open but silent. Finally, she nods, understanding that there's nothing more to say. Her shoulders slump, and she walks back inside. I don't follow her. I stay out on the deck, the hush of the Texan night pressing against me. Door. Darkness. Another space. I walk through the house an hour later. The lights off. A stillness in the air. She's locked herself in the bedroom. I hear muffled crying behind the door. I ignore it. Instead, I go to the hallway closet, grab a spare blanket and pillow, and head to the living room couch. I slump down, tossing the blanket over me, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazily above. That's when it truly hits me, the finality. My marriage is over, my trust shattered. Part of me wants to scream or drink myself unconscious, but I don't do either. I just lie there, the events of the night replaying in my mind. Her confession, his stammering apology, my own savage thirst for retribution. For a moment, I wonder who I've become. Sleep doesn't come easily. My body is exhausted, but my mind is too loud. The adrenaline, the betrayal, the heartbreak swirl in my chest, refusing to settle. I think back to my vow, to love and to cherish, and I realize that vow died the moment she let him into our life. There's no resurrecting it. Eventually, maybe around 2 or 3 in the morning, I drift off into a restless half-sleep. Door. Darkness. Another space. Morning light filters through the curtains, prickling my eyelids. I sit up, groaning, my neck stiff from the awkward angle. The house is silent. I guess she's still in the bedroom, or maybe she's left. I don't know. I don't care. I stand, stretch, and walk to the bathroom. My reflection in the mirror shocks me. Eyes red, stubble thick, the lines of stress etched on my forehead. I look older than I did yesterday, or maybe that's just the truth revealed. My world changed overnight, and so did I. Showering feels like a small mercy. Hot water pounds my back, and for a moment I let my guard slip, leaning against the tiles, breathing heavily. My chest feels hollow, as if I've been scooped out, hollowed by the betrayal. I might cry, but I don't. My tears are locked somewhere deep, behind the shield of anger I built. When I finish, I dress methodically. Jeans, a faded t-shirt, running shoes. I have no appetite, but I wander into the kitchen anyway. The table is set with a single place setting, a note lying on top of the plate. I pick it up. I'll be at my friend's. I understand if you don't want to see me. I'm sorry. No signature, no name, just that. I ball it up and toss it in the trash. Then I grab my car keys. I need out of this house. Door. Darkness. Another space. I end up driving aimlessly through the suburban sprawl of Austin. The morning sun is bright, mocking my mood. I pass by the restaurant they like to meet at. My knuckles tighten on the steering wheel. I keep driving. I have no real destination, just the urge to move, to escape the ghosts in my home. After an hour, I pull into a roadside diner, a place with a flickering neon sign and chipped paint. Feels appropriate. I head inside, slide into a booth. The waitress comes over, older, with kind eyes. I see her name tag. Martha. She smiles politely. What can I get you, hon? I try to form words. My throat is dry. Just coffee. I manage. She nods and leaves me alone. I stare out the window, scanning the parking lot. Another man in a baseball cap steps out of his car with a tired expression. A couple crosses the street, holding hands, leaning into each other with easy affection. The sight stings. Martha returns, sets a mug down. I sip the coffee. It's bitter and hot, but I don't mind. She notices something in my face. You all right? I force a smile. Rough night. She pats my shoulder. I've been there. Then she retreats, giving me space. I realize how alone I feel. My father's far away. My sister's busy with her own family. My best friend moved out of state last year. And my wife, the person I trusted most, destroyed that trust. A surge of cold anger washes over me, mixing with despair. There's a voice inside me that says, "Don't give up." But another voice counters, "She's already left you." I finish my coffee and head back to the car, uncertain what the next move is. All I know is I need to finalize things, to keep that promise to myself. I won't let this break me. I'll show them both what it means to stand strong, even when you're shattered inside. Door. Darkness. Another space. That evening, Elizabeth texts me, "We need to talk. Please." I respond with a single word, "Come." She arrives after sunset. She enters quietly, wearing jeans and a sweater, hair pulled back. She looks like she hasn't slept. Neither have I. We stand in the foyer, the same place where she once kissed me goodbye every morning. She meets my eyes. "Michael, I won't fight you on the divorce, but I need you to know something." I fold my arms, resisting the urge to break down. "What?" She steps closer, but not too close. "I'm not staying with Brian. I don't want him. I never wanted to leave you for him. It was just an escape. I was stupid. Please believe me." I feel a heavy weight in my chest. "Don't talk about believing you. You lost that privilege." She bows her head. "I know." We stare at each other. My anger simmers, but behind it is a deep sadness. "So you left him," I say quietly. "That changes nothing about what you did." She nods, tears shining again. "I know. I couldn't bear the thought of you imagining us together from now on. I'm done with him. Whatever that was, it's dead." The irony makes me laugh, low, bitter. "So you want me to find comfort that you dumped him now that everything's out?" She flinches. "I'm not asking for comfort. I'm just telling you the truth." We stand in tense silence. Then she says, "I'll sign whatever papers you bring. I'm going to stay at my friend's until it's settled." I nod, tight-lipped. She exhales, a trembling breath. "I guess that's it." She looks around, at the pictures on the wall, the furniture, our life in objects. Then her voice cracks. "I can pack my things." I watch her for a moment, seeing her shoulders sag with defeat. "Go," I say. "I need to be alone." She nods, tears streaming again. She heads to the bedroom, returning with a suitcase. We walk to the front door. She sets the suitcase down, turns to me. "I'm sorry," she repeats, eyes glistening with heartbreak. "I'm so sorry." I don't respond. She picks up her suitcase, walks out. The door closes behind her. My heart clenches. I lean against the wall, breathing shakily. Anger, sorrow, and an odd sense of relief churn inside me. It's done. She's gone. The final thread between us snapped. Door. Darkness. Another space. Days pass. I file for divorce, call a lawyer, settle the first steps. Elizabeth stays away. Brian tries to text me a few times. Apologies, attempts at making amends. I delete them. I have no interest in his regrets. My life is a chaos of legal forms, empty rooms, and sleepless nights. But beneath all that pain, I sense a faint stirring of something unexpected. Strength. I realize that I'm still here. Still standing. I wake up alone, make coffee alone, go to work, meet with clients, come home to an empty house. And each day, I don't break. The memories sting. The betrayal eats at me, but I haven't shattered. The man I was died, but a new man stares back at me from the mirror. On the 7th day after she left, I clear out our bedroom closet. Her clothes, her shoes, the little notes she used to leave me. Everything goes into boxes. I tape them shut, stack them in the living room. Then I stare at them for a long time. A swirl of regret, anger, longing. I think about the confessions that night, about how she breathed into the microphone, how Brian admitted every detail. And yet, despite how humiliating that was, I can't deny the fierce clarity it gave me. They can't pretend it was just a small mistake. They confronted it, face to face, and so did I. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed, and let out a breath. Maybe that was my final show of power. I forced them to see what they did through my eyes. They will carry that shame forever, and I will carry the scar of their betrayal. But the scar is a reminder that I can survive pain, betrayal, everything. I walk out to the backyard. Night has fallen again, the stars bright above. I step onto the deck and stand where I once grilled burgers, where we once sipped wine together. That life is gone, but I'm not. I let the chill night air wash over me, thinking about the man I am now. A man who lost his wife to another and found a way to keep breathing. A man who discovered that sometimes you have to destroy the remnants of your old life to forge a new one. I close my eyes, hearing the hush of the night. I think about the final day we'll stand in court, sign the documents, and walk away. I imagine her face, the regret, the pain. And I picture Brian, alone in his fancy restaurant, perhaps remembering the night I forced him to confess. Maybe he's waiting for a text from her, or maybe he's realized she's gone. I don't care. Let him see how fleeting that excitement was. This is my life now. Hard, raw, honest. I open my eyes, stare at the stars, and I remember the vow I made to myself. I will not let them break me. If anything, they have tempered me like steel in a forge. The betrayal hammered me, but I came out stronger. Maybe I'll carry bitterness, maybe I'll have nightmares. But I'll also have freedom. The chance to rebuild without her shadow clouding every corner. My breath shivers in the cool air. And then, surprisingly, I find a calm settling over me. Maybe it's acceptance, or maybe it's simply exhaustion. But it feels steady, like a heartbeat returning to a normal rhythm after a violent chase. I walk back inside, lock the door behind me. The living room stands in half-darkness, the boxes of her things stacked in a corner. I flip off the light, and the darkness closes in. I stand there, letting my eyes adjust. I sense a flicker of something inside me. Relief, or closure, or perhaps just the absence of panic. I whisper into the empty room. You said I was dead, but I'm still here. I step forward, crossing the threshold into the hallway. The future is uncertain, but it's mine. And that's enough for tonight.